Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I bring you some news that is setting the showbiz world on fire. A new storm around Can Yaman, Demet Özdemir, and Sara Bluma. They say that betrayal leaves a shadow that haunts you until death. And it's precisely that phrase that has turned everything upside down again. The origin of the scandal. As you already know, Can Yaman broke up with Sara Bluma after accusations of infidelity, but despite the separation, they are still living under the same roof. Officially, according to Italian media, for logistical reasons. However, many people on social media don't buy it. Whoever breaks up doesn't keep living with their ex. There's something strange here. And just when the atmosphere was already tense, Demet Özdemir comes onto the scene. The sentence that changed everything. Journalists ask Demet, Can and Sara are still living in the same house despite the breakup? What do you think? She first gives a slight smile and then drops the bomb. Dear Can, the shadow of betrayal will haunt you until death. But still, it's your decision. Within minutes, that line set social media on fire. Was it a complaint, a warning, or proof that the bond between them continues, even if in silence? What people close to Demet are saying. People in her circle say that Demet is uncomfortable with the negative atmosphere that has been surrounding Can lately. According to these sources, she is worried about his aggressive and chaotic behavior in recent months. Seeing him continue to live with Sara after the breakup seems to her a sign of emotional insecurity and inner chaos. She believes that Can expresses himself through the wrong people, and that this public dart was also a signal for him to get a grip. In her view, this situation is draining both for Can and for those around him. Sara'S silence and her anger. Meanwhile, Sara Bluma keeps a low profile and doesn't respond to the accusations or the rumors. But, according to entertainment magazines in Italy, she was very upset after Demet's words and fears that Can is still clinging to his past. It is already being said that at an event she will be attending in the next few days, she might finally give her version and explain the real breaking point. The pressure on Can Yaman. Those close to Can say that this time he is under more pressure than ever. He is working intensively in Italy, preparing new projects, but in his personal life he is experiencing a true inner conflict. On the one hand, his career. On the other, a blockage in his love life. They say Demet's words shook him, but also made him reflect. It is not the criticism itself that hurts him, but the warnings coming from someone he believes is right. For now, according to these same insiders, Can has decided to remain silent and watch how everything unfolds. The mysterious night post. A few hours after Demet's remark, Can posted a black and white photo on his social media with a single sentence. The solitude of the human being begins in the crowd. Followers were quick to link it to what had happened. Demet's words clearly affected him. There's still something between them. It can't be hidden anymore. And so, the media storm grew even more. A triangle that no one can untangle? In the world of celebrities, people are already openly talking about the Can Demet Sara triangle. An invisible knot, but one that's getting tighter and tighter. The past doesn't disappear easily, especially when it has been lived under the spotlight. A tabloid commentator described it like this on live TV. Demet's sentence is not a simple comment. It's a complete message. By saying shadow of betrayal, she is pointing out the mistakes she sees in Can's life, while he remains trapped between his emotions and logic. What might happen now? Behind the scenes, several rumors are already circulating. Ken could soon make a clearer statement about his romantic situation. Demet might be forced to say that her words were misunderstood. Sara could speak to the Italian press and tell what the real moment of rupture was. In other words, this emotional hurricane is far from calming down. A hidden message in the final sentence? Many people got stuck on the part where Demet says, "But still, it's your decision." Some interpret it as not just a warning, but also as leaving the door slightly open, as if she were saying, "I'm not going to interfere, but you know the consequences." And that, once again, fuels the idea of that invisible connection between Can and Demet that has been talked about for years. Is it just one more chapter in the drama, or the beginning of something new? We will see. And of course, I will keep telling you about it here on the channel. If I'm honest, to me, Demet Özdemir has earned a place of her own, far above all the noise, gossip, and fan wars that swirl around her name. People sometimes talk about her only in relation to Can Yaman, as if her value depended on him. And that seems to me a huge lack of respect for her work. I completely agree with those who say she is a great actress and that she absolutely doesn't need that arrogant and unpleasant guy to shine. Demet has her own light, her talent, her expressiveness, her way of building characters. All of that existed before, during, and after the phase with Can. Reducing her to the former co-star of means not having understood anything of what she has shown on screen. I also see, like many others, that there is a part of the public that still tries to pit her against him, inventing rivalries that, in the end, only serve to generate clicks and cheap controversy. I find it very telling to read comments from people who, while defending both of them, point out that there is no rivalry between them, that Can is a king and Demet a queen of Turkish cinema. I may not idealize Can that much, but about Demet, I do share that idea of a queen. She has managed to stay firm, professional, without lowering herself to the level of certain attacks or responding with the same poison with which some criticize her or use her as a weapon against him. That calmness, that ability to move forward without creating scandals, says a lot about her character to me. Another thing I find unfair is how her name is often dragged through the mud with rumors, out-of-context photos, or made-up stories. There are people who cling to any image, any gesture, to insinuate things about her private life, as if her career depended on who she dates, who she takes a photo with, or what she does in her free time. Personally, I'm extremely tired of that kind of pettiness. I completely understand those who say enough of so much misery against these extraordinary actor and actress. I'd add that, in Demet's case, the malice sometimes seems even greater because she is a woman, because she is beautiful, because she is successful. And that triggers envy and resentment. I also think people often forget how much Demet contributed to the international success of their projects. It wasn't just Can who won over European and Latin American audiences. It was the chemistry between them, yes. But above all, her ability to carry difficult scenes, to make a story believable that, without her commitment, would have remained just another light romantic comedy. I strongly identify with those who remind Ken that he owes a lot to Demet, that it was thanks to the series they did together that his name started to be heard so loudly outside Turkey. And yet, she rarely goes around bragging about that. She works, creates, changes register, takes risks with new roles, while others seem more concerned with maintaining their image as untouchable stars. What I value most about Demate is that, despite all the noise, she has never needed to stoop to public insults or to ridicule anyone to stay in the spotlight. While some behave as if they will be on top forever and almost seem happy when others stumble, she appears focused on her own path, on her projects, on growing professionally. I don't see her fueling fan wars or supporting petty comments. On the contrary, she gives the impression of wanting to distance herself from that whole circus. To me, that attitude speaks of emotional maturity and of an inner security that many big names don't have. Of course, around her and Can, absolutely extreme camps have formed. Some defend him by attacking her, others defend her by wishing him the most spectacular downfall. Honestly, I don't need to wish anyone ill in order to admire Demet. It's enough for me to look at her career, at the respect she inspires among many followers who value her for her talent and not for who she is linked to. When someone comments that Demet is a wonderful actress and that she doesn't need that guy at all, I feel they sum up very well what I also think. Her career is not a shadow. It is a solid path, built with effort and perseverance. In the end, my feeling is that Demet represents the best of this very complicated world. Professionalism, growth, the ability to withstand criticism without sinking, and above all, the proof that a woman can carry her own name without being chained forever to a co-star. Let them keep using her in headlines, putting her into controversies, inventing stories. It doesn't matter. Her work speaks for her, and while some wear themselves out in gossip, she keeps moving forward, proving that, whether people like it or not, she is not just a famous model or somebody's ex. She is a complete actress who has fully earned the place she holds.